real cases before a real judge.
And now, enter the courtroom of Judge Mathis. Plaintiffs Chris Hassis and Devin Mathis say Devin dated the defendant for 3 years, and the defendant not only put him at risk of getting a sexually transmitted disease, but she aborted his baby without his knowledge. They're suing for rent and a loan. Defendant Kristen Campbell admits that she had sexually transmitted diseases, but insists she got them from Devin. She's countersuing for emotional distress and harassment.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I dated this girl for 3 years. You know, I feel like I wasted all that time.
2.5.
Whatever she wants to call it. She wants to call it 2.5. It was 3 years, and I wasted all that time with her. You know, I feel like an idiot for dating her.
Why was
I
it a
should have listened
waste?
to my friends. Well, if I would have known what I had to go through now, if I would have known that before, I would have never gone through it. I would have never trusted her. I would have never even, you know, tried to move in with her.
What went wrong?
Well, she cheated on me for one.
One, I didn't cheat on you. You
Let
cheated
him
on me.
finish, ma'am. Go ahead.
She cheated on me for one. She aborted my child without me knowing about it. She put me at risk for almost contracting gonorrhea and chlamydia.
What do you mean by she almost gave you gonorrhea and chlamydia?
I was working. She called me asking me if I had done anything, if I had cheated on her because she contracted gonorrhea and chlamydia.
Okay, she said she had it.
Yes.
And so you were concerned that she may have passed it to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
But she did not.
No, she didn't.
So I'm just curious about what it means when you say someone almost gave you chlamydia.
Because we didn't have sex.
Either you get it or you don't.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't.
Ma'am, let me hear from you about these inflammatory allegations he's making and anything else you want me to know.
Well, first of all, I believe the only reason I'm here is because he's obsessed with me, that he can't be with me and that I don't want to be with him anymore. When we first met, everything was fine. It was, I believe, 2009 when we met at a Denny's. I gave him my number. And after that, everything seemed to be okay until about 6 months down the road when he started becoming really controlling and very clingy. I wasn't able to hang out with my friends or my family. He pretty much became really aggressive and verbally abused me, calling me fat, saying I was ugly, saying that I didn't deserve him and that he deserved better and that I should pretty much drive myself off of a cliff.
Yeah,
and after that, I told him that I wanted to go on a break, which he said, I don't do breaks. We're either going to break up or we're going to stay together. For some reason, he decided, well, yeah, let's go ahead and go on a break. So I said, okay, we'll go on a break for a week without talking to other people, without seeing other people. That whole entire time, I was up in my room depressed because I didn't know what to do, why he was out doing whatever he was doing, having a grand old time.
How do you know that?
There was a message on Facebook stating all of this stuff, that he had a new girlfriend, and he admitted to having another girlfriend.
Go ahead.
So he was the one that cheated on me.
So
I did not cheat on him.
went back to Denny's and found him another one?
She...
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. He's the one that cheated on you. You want to tell me about any of these inflammatory things he alleges about venereal disease or sexually transmitted?
Speaking of the gonorrhea and chlamydia,
yeah.
The boyfriend I was with previously was clean. I had sex with this man, and I ended up getting gonorrhea and chlamydia. I don't care what he says, but I contracted it from this man. He can tell me that he went to the doctor and everything, but I want to see proof that he did not have it.
Okay. And what about, you want to speak on an aborted child that he...
Yes, I was pregnant.
Okay. And did you allow him to have any input on that situation?
There couldn't be any input in it.
Why?
But what happened was he was having a party at his house. He decided to call me up and ask me to come over there at 11 o'clock at night to have sex with him. I said no. So he decided he was going to call me a bunch of names, say that I wasn't good enough for him. He didn't even want the kid in the first place, whether he says he did or not.
He knew at that time you were pregnant?
Yes, he did.
Did you, sir?
Yeah, Your Honor. She aborted it without me knowing. She didn't know that she
You
aborted
knew
it.
that I aborted it. I called you that morning telling you I had to come from the doctor. The
Your Honor,
reason why
Okay, let's leave all this alone. All right, let's get to the rent and loans that you're suing her for. What do you want to tell me about the loan and the rent first?
We have a breakdown right here for you.
All right, why don't you tell me before you hand me a breakdown? What are you suing her for?
Well, she signed the lease in December. December of 2011.
All right.
For the apartment, she agreed that she was going to move in with us, and she eventually kept putting the date off that.
You have that lease?
because I was not comfortable with moving into your guys' apartment.
Did she sign that lease?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
Okay. And what are you alleging? She failed to pay her share of the rent?
Yes, sir.
From what dates?
January through
Now you can hand me your...
January through the May.
All right. And her share was $450?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, what do you say to this? They provide me evidence that you were on the lease. Did you pay the rent for the lease that you signed?
No, sir, I did not. The reason why I did not was because I felt that it was an unsafe environment for me to live in, so I never moved in. I never not once lived in that apartment.
What was unsafe about it?
The way that Mr. Mathis was acting.
How was he acting?
I felt unsafe. He was calling me names. He would abuse me. He would grab me. He would get mad if I said no.
Over the course of what period of time?
Over the course from the beginning I signed the lease to the point where I broke it off with him and I didn't want to
Why
be
do you
with him
think
anymore.
he began doing this just when you signed the lease?
Honestly, I have no idea. He was controlling and crazy before.
There you go. He was already doing it.
Yeah, he was.
Yet you signed a lease to stay with him anyway. So you
Unfortunately, I
assumed
did.
this risk when you signed that lease. You knew what you were signing up for.
The thing is before, while we were signing the lease, he was putting on a front, acting nice, as could be, saying that he had changed, and he had changed all of this stuff. So unfortunately, I believed him like an idiot.
Did you go to the landlord, and what did the landlord tell you? When you said, landlord, I want to get out of the lease.
They said that I had to have them sign me off of the lease. I asked them to. They said that they would refuse to.
Did you report any of this abuse? That would have helped you get out of the lease very easily. If you called the police or went for a restraining order or anything, then you certainly would have been out of the lease. Did you do any of that?
No, sir, I did
I didn't
not.
think so. Just curious about what it means when you say someone almost gave you humiliated.
Because we didn't have sex.
Either you get it or you don't.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't.
Plaintiffs Chris Hassis and Devin Mathis say Devin dated the defendant for 3 years, and he claims during their relationship she cheated and contracted sexually transmitted diseases.
All right, let's get to the loan you're suing her for.
She came to me in February asking for money to help her pay her phone bill that she had unpaid and for gas money. So I ended up giving her $140 on top of paying her portion of the rent.
Okay.
that
Why
she
didn't
agreed
she
to.
move in, to your understanding?
She signed a lease with another guy.
I did not
apparently in
sign
September.
another lease. My name
She
was not
living
on
with
that
him.
Quiet,
lease.
ma'am. Pardon me?
Apparently she told me she signed a lease with this guy in September that she was living with, and she never moved in because she was living with him. And I have the text messages to prove it right
There you
here.
go. Let's see it.
There was actually some racist stuff at the end of those too.
Coming from the one that walks through the store and makes racial slurs next to people? Okay. And coming from the one that got a
Not
bunch
just
of money?
racial slurs, there's also homosexual slurs.
I admit to that, Your
Slurs
Honor.
toward Latinos, slurs toward homosexuals. Wow.
Can I hear those slurs towards homosexuals, please?
I'm not going to repeat this.
Because, Your Honor,
You're not too bright, are you?
Your Honor,
You're not
honestly,
too bright. $1,000 for your emotional distresses for what? What did he do to you?
Well, what he did to me, sir, was there was multiple times when I would not answer my phone. He would leave messages on my phone, screaming into my voicemail. Sometimes I couldn't even understand
Bring
what
any
he would do.
evidence?
No, but I do have statements from my mother and my husband.
Okay.
There was also a time
Let me
when
see the statements. What did they say? They answered it, or how do they know it was him?
Because he would call my mother's cell phone.
And when did you get married, by the way?
I got married a couple months ago.
Couple months ago?
Yes.
Or like 2 months after you signed the lease?
No.
When did you sign the lease?
I didn't sign, it was not December.
You didn't
Your
sign
Honor.
the lease. I'm looking right at the lease. $2,390 is your judgment for the unpaid loan and the rent. Her only defense to the rent is she felt uncomfortable because of the things you say to her. Yet she admits that you said all these things to her since the beginning of the relationship, but yet she signed an agreement to live with you. On this, you also say, ma'am, I'll get you your money when I have it. You agreed to repay him. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
He's a stupid he needs to rot in hell. And he's nothing but a liar.
That's funny, coming from the stupid that cheated on me and
Coming from the
contracted
stupid that
she
cheated on him.
contracted
Yeah, okay, I
STDs.
cheated on
But
you.
I never
You're the
caught.
one that gave me the
cheated on
venereal
me.
disease.
You cheated on me.
Idiot.
You're
But
dumb
you're lower than the on my
hell.
ground.
Go to hell.
I've
You
already
think
been there. I
You
vacation
did
there.
home when you
I
had
was
no
living
proof
with
for
you,
image.
I vacation
Go
there.